Yo, it's Jazzi Black, and today we're going to be talking money, small business, and community. Whether you've been thinking about opening a new bank account or starting a side hustle or growing a business you already have, this conversation is for you. Joining us from Huntington Bank are Ralph Hamm, our regional president of North Texas, as well as Sam Wright, who is our small business manager. And they're here to talk about Huntington's commitment to North Texas and how they're helping local businesses grow and to share practical financial advice that anybody can use. Ralph and Sam, thank you so much for joining me, and welcome to the Kickback.
Our pleasure. Thank you for having us.
Great to be here, Jazzi. Thanks for having us.
So, Ralph, can you start by telling us a little bit about Huntington and your role here in Dallas?
Sure. As I said, my name's Ralph Hamm. I'm the regional president for North Texas. I'm a proud third-generation native of DFW, Dallas specifically.
Nice.
25 years of experience, and excited to be here with you and answering your questions.
That's awesome. And Sam, what about your role at Huntington?
Thank you, Jazzi. I'm Sam Wright, as you mentioned, and I am a small business community impact manager supporting the North Texas market, which includes Dallas. In banking for 22 years, and all the time I've been in financial services, I've supported small businesses. So really excited to talk to your small business owners here today.
That's awesome. Okay, so Ralph, what do you want listeners to know about Huntington? Like, what is the first thing that comes to mind?
Yeah, Jazzi, for me, it's all about advice and guidance for us. At Huntington, that's what we focus on. And if we focus on that, if our colleagues focus on that, we have a goal of providing financial empowerment, housing, stability, and economic vitality for our customers.
And what are some initiatives that Huntington has to support local businesses?
We work with consumers, businesses, public sector, nonprofits, with all different types of people. Couple things we do, and I'll let Samuel talk a little bit more about some specific programs that we have to help small businesses, but we're here to meet our customers, and specifically small businesses, where they are. Right. And it really comes back to, it's not about a product or service, it's about understanding them, their dreams, their aspiration, and again, trying to provide best-in-class advice and guidance.
Nice.
On what their needs are.
That's good, because oftentimes people don't know the resources that are available and they don't know where to start. So I'm glad that we're opening up the floor to have this conversation. Sam, can you talk to me a little bit about some of the programs and why invest in small businesses?
Absolutely. So we know that small businesses are the backbone of our local economies and, quite frankly, our communities. And so Huntington has been committed to small businesses for a very long time, and that's demonstrated through our SBA, Small Business Administration presence. And what that basically means is we partner with the Small Business Administration, which is a government organization that encourages lenders to lend to early stage small businesses. So small businesses that are in that startup to grow phase, typically with lending needs south of $5 million. And a lot of times they're in that startup and they only need a couple $100,000 maybe. And so Huntington is really committed to that. And one program that's really popular here at Huntington that has been ringing bells nationally is our Lift Local Business program. And this is more than just a loan, Jazzi. So we consider this a program in that there's three core tenets to this program. So one, we provide access to capital. So we do loans to small business owners in that very early stage, including startups. Two, we do a lot of education. So we partner with local community organizations to provide small business education in an attempt to demystify the lending process. And then three, we think it's all about building community and connectivity. So we leverage our ecosystem network and others that are in the small business community to get entrepreneurs connected where they need to be.
And you mentioned something that reminded me that oftentimes I feel like small business owners feel a little bit intimidated walking into a bank with already having, the notion that they're going to get denied before they even try. So it's nice to know that y'all not only are offering resources, but you also offer education so people can learn what opportunities are available. How can the right banking partner actually save business owners time and money?
So look, how do you save time and money? It's by, first of all, sitting down where I already mentioned where you meet the customer, what are their needs. And if you sit down and have a conversation from the point of trying to help somebody, understanding is their goal to have their family be in the business, is a goal to be 10 employees, to be 100 someday, whatever it is. It's about understanding, because before you can provide a product or service, it's about understanding what their true needs are. And the way I think about it in application is, look, every business has revenue, and you have to collect that revenue. And there's ways that we can help customers collect it faster. There's also a lot of things that we can do to be more efficient from a payment optimization. And then Obviously, we talk a lot about capital, and of course, credit optimization is also a really important part of that. And then kind of bringing it home, hopefully that we're helping those clients over time invest their money, their hard-earned earnings, whether that's for college savings, or for just general savings, it's for retirement, what have you, or leave it to, future generations.
Now, I want to ask both of you, what is one financial lesson that you wish every entrepreneur learned before starting their business?
Wow, Ralph, if you don't mind, I'll go first.
Go for it. Please.
I have one cardinal rule with small business. So two things I'll share, Jazzi, quickly. So one is it's very important for the entrepreneurs or aspiring entrepreneurs to create financial systems early. So meaning specific processes in which they're going to manage money coming into the business and money going out of the business. That's critical. So if you do it early before you're making a lot of money, when you start making a lot of money, you can plug and play, as we say. The other one is oftentimes entrepreneurs do not separate their business from their personal in the early stage. And so they do a lot of what we call commingling. And that is the recipe for a lot of heartache and headache down the road. And so the quicker that an entrepreneur, once they realize that this is a business they're going to take seriously, it's something they're really going to pursue, and they start having expenses and revenue, it's really important for them to establish that business banking account so that they can separate their business from their personal. So, and then the last thing I'll say, I had two, but I got one more, is don't quit your day job right away. And so a lot of people get really excited and they get really ambitious, and they think that they're going to come out and make $1 million in a month. And they realize when they get into the real environment, it doesn't work like that, and they might quit their job. So hold on to your day job long as you can, separate the business from the personal, and create systems.
100% agree with that advice. The only thing I would add is be open-minded. And when I say open-minded is, and build relationships with other people that maybe have done something else, build relationships with what we call COIs, like a CPA or a tax advisor or a lawyer to help get some advice. And overriding, try your hardest. It can be intimidating, but so many people are here to help. Try not to be intimidated, because it can be overwhelming, especially for a first time. But the colleagues, for example, the colleagues at Huntington are here. We want to welcome you when you walk in, and we want to help. We want to kind of remove that intimidation factor. Yeah. So be confident when you walk in. And it's okay not to know all the answers. Right. A lot of people can help.
That's why you go to the experts, like at Huntington. That's exactly why. Okay, so now I'm curious. Right. If I was to walk into Huntington tomorrow with a business idea, what does that first conversation look like?
I think that ties back to the last thing that Ralph said, and don't go at it alone. And so when you first come into the branch, as Ralph mentioned, it's all about building that relationship. So you're getting to know that branch colleague, that local banker. They're getting to know you. So there's going to be a lot of questions. So they're going to ask you a lot of questions because our job, as Ralph mentioned, is to provide advice and guidance. And so the only way that you can effectively do that, we know, is by really understanding the person across from the desk from you. Right. And then your job as an entrepreneur, Jazzi, is to know what your business needs and make sure you're asking questions that align with your future goals to make sure that the lender you're considering, we would hope it would be Huntington, but any lender you're considering, that they can provide you the resources that you need to start and grow. So not just for today, but what would it look like in 3 years in that relationship? Yeah. And the other thing I'll add is we do a really good job, like Ralph mentioned, our bankers, they're really connected to these local ecosystems. There's a ton of organizations out there to support small business and entrepreneurship in our local communities in North Texas. I think of Score Mentors, for example, and they're there to provide free technical assistance to entrepreneurs that need help with like business plans or financial projections, or they're just trying to overcome something that they've run into an obstacle and they don't have an expertise in. So don't go at it alone. So leverage your banker, like your local banker, leverage the rest of the ecosystem. And then, Ralph, you got anything you'll add to that?
I would just double down on what you said towards the end. And this isn't about writing I don't want your listeners to think that anybody's advocating for doing a big PowerPoint or a really complicated business plan. Yeah. But a business plan can literally be a page or two, and it can be a few calculations to understand, okay, if this is the service I want to start or provide, or the product that I'm selling, or the store I want to open, right, is really having an understanding. If I do this, this is what it's going to cost me. This is my goal, and this is what I want to make it over, whether it's the first 3 months or the first year. Mm-hmm. And again, just on what Samuel said, there are plenty of organizations, bankers, colleagues at Huntington that are willing to help direct traffic and help provide advice and guidance on that. plenty of help out there.
That's really good to know, because I think also like thinking that you have to have all the answers before you walk into the bank is something that also can be a little bit discouraging. So to know that there's also support to say, well, let's walk through this and see what makes sense and help you find something that does make sense for you, so you're not biting off more than you can chew. And now I'm curious, do you guys have any like success stories of a local business or organization that has benefited from working with Huntington?
I mean, hundreds, really. Actually, timing's great. I was in a meeting near the airport today. We were actually closing a new loan to expand their warehouse.
Nice.
Really excited about that. A couple locations. Been in business not for a long time, for 3 or 4 years. Food manufacturers, attorneys, small, what we call practice finance, individual or two-partner dentists, doctors, healthcare providers that we bank and have helped grow. Samuel already mentioned our SBA. I mean, I think the numbers are something like
$2.5 billion. Yeah,
2.5 billion. I didn't want to underdo it.
Would have been 7,700 loans to 2.5 billion through SBA, which is a big number when you compare us to other banks, for sure.
That is.
Yeah.
For people that, want to come and set up a consultation, how does that process work? Do you just simply walk in? Should we call first? Should we go online?
For the entry point in general, I think people are used to navigating like online to get connected these days with all of our mobile phones in our hands a lot of times. And so they can go to huntington.com, and then they can select which product or service they're interested in learning more about. And we have inquiry forms right through huntington.com they can fill out, and it'll connect them with a local banker. If they're old school and they just want to walk in, they can look for the big green pretty sign on the building. They can just walk into their local Huntington and introduce themselves and get the conversation started. So we welcome either way. They can call and schedule an appointment. We welcome them that way too. Ralph, would you add any other ways to get connected?
No. Our tagline is welcome, Jazzi. So when you walk in one of our branches, we want people to feel really welcome. And hopefully that's making them feel really comfortable. And so we can sit down and have, open and honest conversations about what they want to accomplish.
That's so cool. Thank you so much. I got my own business plan. I'm going to come by and sit down and have a consultation too. So how about we all just hold hands and go together, guys?
Don't forget to stop at those local community partners. They can review it before you bring it to us. They'll take a good look at it for free.
Cool.
And make sure that make sure they can give you some good feedback. So build that relationship capital. Get out in the community, entrepreneurs, connect with organizations to support entrepreneurship. There's a ton of them, as me and Ralph has shared, including our bankers at our local branches, and we look forward to helping more businesses in Texas.
Well, we sure appreciate you for your service. Thank you again, Ralph and Sam. If you swing by Huntington Bank, tell them Jazzi Black sent you.
Thank you, Jazzi.
We appreciate you, Jazzi. Thanks for having us.